Hello everyone and welcome to an absolute thriller of a game from the final round of the US Women's Championship. It is a game between Irina Krush, Grandmaster Irina Krush, and FIDE Master Jennifer Yu. Irina Krush is an 8-time Women's US Champion, and Jennifer Yu is a 1-time Women's US Champion. She won the title in 2019, and she is also this year's 2022 US Girls Champion, so she's now going for her second title this year. And it was quite an interesting tournament. Irina Krush was undefeated the entire tournament. She even defeated Jennifer Yu in their classical game, but Jennifer defeated more opponents. So in the end, they both had 9 points out of 13, and they went into tiebreak. So after the tournament has been played, 2 Blitz games will be played, and then if the 2 Blitz games are a draw, or if each wins 1, then they go into Armageddon. And this is the Armageddon game that we are going to show. The Blitz tiebreaks ended by Jennifer winning the first game, and then Irina retaliating in the second one, and now this is the Armageddon game. So let's dive straight into it, because I mean, what happens in this game is absolutely unbelievable. So let's check it out. So Irina has the white pieces, and she opens with knight to f3. She goes for the Reti opening, pawn to d5. We have g3 now, going for the King's Indian attack, and pawn to g6. Both of them are ready to fianchetto their bishops and castle kingside. So bishop g2, bishop g7, and kingside castles. We have pawn to e5, grabbing the full center, and now pawn to d3, ready to undermine the center later on. We have knight to e7, knight b to d2, and now we have castles kingside by Jennifer. We have pawn to e4, striking in the center, and now pawn to d4. This is a fairly known position. Knight b to c6 is a known move here. Pawn to d4 is very rare. So here, knight to e1, preparing to strike against the center with pawn to f4, knight b to c6, and now pawn to f4. And interestingly, this is a known position. The position has been reached in the Yugoslavian Championship 1960 between Dragoljub Minic and Dragoljub Ciric, where Dragoljub Minic won a very nice game, and in that game, pawn to f5 was played. But in this game, truly unbelievable move is played, and that is the move from the thumbnail, and that is bishop to g4. We can even do it in slow motion. Look at this. Bishop to g4, attacking the white queen, and now you are wondering, okay, what happens if the queen captures the bishop? Exactly that, the queen just captures the bishop. So for some reason, Jennifer overlooked an entire piece here, and it wouldn't be it wouldn't be that incredible if she already didn't do it once in this tournament, and against the exact same opponent. She blundered the bishop against Irina Krush in their classical game, or maybe it was a sacrifice. I mean, it looks, it does, drag the queen away from the center of the board to the queen side if you've seen the game. And okay, it could be considered a sacrifice, but all in all, just a nice bishop blunder. And here, okay, this one was a straight out blunder. Jennifer said in an interview after the game that she even asked the arbiter, Chris Bird, maybe she didn't ask him, maybe she just looked at him or something like that, and then he was like, no, you have to play it. I mean, you dropped the bishop. It's not like she just picked it up and then she had to put it somewhere. She picked it up and then she put it on g4, attacking the queen. So of course the move had to be played. If you think about it, instead of bishop g4, bishop to e6 is a perfectly valid move. So if she just picked up the bishop, she could have put it on e6 and everything is fine. But okay, bishop to g4, and now queen captures on g4. And what do you do in a situation like this? Okay, since you guys already probably know that Jennifer is the US Women's Champion, she said in an interview after the game that it's kind of crazy. 2.5 weeks of work comes down to a few seconds. And now she could resign. I mean, you should resign. You're playing against a grandmaster and you've just blundered a piece, so the only reasonable thing to do is to resign. But of course, that's not what happens here. The only reasonable thing to do is to continue. This is Armageddon. There is no increment, so you have to fight. Maybe your opponent just runs out of time, because white has to win this game. A draw is insufficient. So okay, queen captures on g4 and pawn to f5, attacking the queen. Queen back to e2, and now queen to d7. So can she complicate? Can't she get anything out of this game? We have knight e to f3, just improving the position of the knights. Rook 8 to e8, and now f captures on e5. Knight captures on e5, and Irina, of course, very, very happily trades pieces as she is up a piece. So knight captures, bishop captures, E captures on f5, even allowing the rook to sort of x-ray the white queen, but there's a bishop and the knight in between, you don't have to worry about that. Knight captures on f5, and now knight to e4. And okay, we have pawn to b6, taking away the c5 square from the knight, also preparing c5. We have bishop to d2, preparing to bring the other rook into the game, and now pawn to c5. We have rook to f2, preparing to double up on the f-file, and rook to e7. Jennifer wants to double up on the e-file as, well, you're down material. You do not want to contest white's rooks on the f-file. You don't want to trade rooks in general or anything. So rook a to f1, and now rook f to e8. And now bishop to h3, a very nasty move, not allowing the knight to move. The queen is on d7, but also you're just threatening to pick up the knight, win some pawns, maybe bring the queen into the game. So how can Jennifer continue this? Okay, rook to f7, and now comes pawn to g4. Here you could consider a bishop h6 or bishop captures on f5. Anything is winning here for white because you're just up too much material. She goes for pawn to g4, which is also very nice. You want to move the knight, you want to capture on f7. So here we have knight to d6. And now, what do you play here? It's such a fine position where you could still play like bishop h6. You could capture on d6. You could capture on f7. So these are all valid moves. Knight captures on d6 is played in the game, and now it seems like okay, you can capture on f2. You can capture on d6. You can capture with the bishop on d6. Open up and attack towards the white queen. But Jennifer manages to find a move that seems to be the most complicated to handle under time pressure. She plays bishop capture on h2 with check. And now again, what do you play here? And I'm really asking you that. What do you play here? Feel free to pause the video and win the game for Irina while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on not touching the bishop with the king. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the winning move is rook captures on h2. You will still be winning if you just sidestep with the king, but you will not be winning if you play king captures. The point is, if rook captures on h2, rook captures on e2, you will just play knight captures on f7. And now it doesn't matter what the black plays. If rook captures on h2, you first save the knight, knight to h6 with check, king g7, king captures on h2, and now you have a bishop, a rook, and a knight for a queen. Of course, this is completely winning. There are no tricks here. Rook to f7 is coming. This is game over. So that's what you should play. However, in the game, king captures on h2 was played, and now we have, well, probably what Irina saw under extreme time pressure was that once she gives up the queen, she can play knight captures on f7, and now after rook captures on f2 check, rook captures, it's a similar position to what we already discussed. In that position, the knight was on h6. But yeah, I mean, still 3 pieces and a rook for a queen, of course, completely winning. But she missed queen captures on d6 with check. And now we're going to get a similar position, only you will not have 3 pieces and a rook, you will have 2 pieces and a rook for the queen, which is great, but not as potent. So here, king to h1, and just rook captures on e2. Rook captures on e2, and now queen to d5 with check. Queen to g3 is better, but I mean, this is Armageddon. Queen d5 check, king to g1, rook captures on f1, and the bishop captures on f1. And now you have this position where Jennifer has a queen and Irina has a bishop pair and a rook. And of course, a bishop pair is sometimes enough to fight the queen, but a bishop pair and the rook, that's just overkill. So, but still, white has to win. A draw is not enough. A draw means a win for Jennifer. So queen to f3. Pawn to g5, saving the pawn. Also, the pawn is very nicely placed here. Queen g4 check, rook to g2 now, queen to d1, and now we have bishop to f4, not even allowing the capture of the c2 pawn. Queen to f3, and now rook to f2. So now it's only time to mount an attack against the black king and hopefully somehow checkmate him. Queen g4 check, bishop to g2, we have queen to d1 check, and king to h2. The only thing left for Jennifer is to play complicated moves, play them really fast to make the position as complicated as possible, and try and flag Irina just for her to lose on time. So queen to e1, we have bishop to d5 with check, king to g7, and now bishop to g3, threatening a nice discovery here to win the black queen. So queen back to e8, and here we have king to g2. Another beautiful position where you can end the game in great style, but time pressure is time pressure. Here, look at this, rook f7 check, and okay, king h7, how do you continue this? Look at this, rook f8 check, beautiful stuff. Queen has to capture. If you go to g7, of course it doesn't matter, you just lose the queen. But if queen captures on f8, then bishop to e5. Look at this, the bishop pair from hell rides again. Incredible stuff. You will have to give up the queen, bishop captures, king captures, and of course you will be able to win this endgame if you have the time. But time is a commodity here. So queen to e8, we have king to g2. Now comes pawn to h5. Obviously Jennifer saw the threat here and she freed up the h7 square for her king. Rook to f7 check, and now king to h8. Now this is no longer an option because queen can capture, and after bishop e5 check you have the h7 square for your king. So king to f1, queen to e3, we have rook to f8 check, king to g7, rook to f7 check, and king to h8. Jennifer very happy with a repetition of moves. She only needs a draw to win Armageddon. Bishop to f2, queen to c1 with check. We have bishop to e1, and queen captures on g5. Now white is objectively no longer winning. So here bishop to e4, queen to g4, and now bishop to f2. We have queen to d1 check, king to g2, queen to g4 check, king to h2, and now king to g8, attacking the white rook, and now rook to f3, preparing rook to g3 to win the g6 pawn. But here h4 was played, taking away the g3 square from the white rook, and it was also in this position on move 47 that Irina Krush lost on time, which means that Jennifer Yu wins this game, wins Armageddon, and also wins the title of 2022 US Women's Champion. So really a remarkable game, and I mean, okay, it's not unheard of for something like this to be played in an Armageddon game. I mean, you like she said, you've already been playing for 2.5 weeks, and then the entire U.S. Championship comes down to an Armageddon game. It's possible to make a move like bishop to g4, but she blundered a bishop twice against the same opponent. She also did it against Irina in their classical game, which is which is just incredible. Two bishop blunders, and you win the title of U.S. Women's Champion. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, that's some fighting spirit. But yeah, something to be learned from this game. Even if something like this happens to you, regardless of how important the event is, never resign. Just continue playing. Good things might happen. If you always play the best move, your opponent might play, sometimes the best move, sometimes a suboptimal move, but then in the end, good things might happen. And here you have the photo of this moment. There you have it. Irina Krush loses on time. She has 0-0-0. Jennifer still left with a full minute on the clock. So like she said, the tactic after blundering that bishop was simply to flag her opponent, and as you can see, she was successful in doing so. But the real magic was this bishop captures on h2 move, because the knight on d6 was hanging, and if rook captures, I mean, it's just winning. Even if you move the king, it's just winning. But after king captures, then the knight hangs with check, and then you pick up the queen. So okay, she blundered the bishop, she blundered the knight. All is well. Very nice game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Completely crazy stuff. These are the final standings, so you can see. No, sorry, she's a woman grandmaster. I don't know why I said FIDE master. Yeah, that is really weird. Why did I say FIDE master? I have no idea. Let me just check something real quickly. Because her Chess24 profile where I check the games says FM, but when you click on her link, it says Women Grandmaster. Yeah, okay, that definitely does make more sense. So sorry about that. Yeah, Women Grandmaster Jennifer Yu takes the first place. Grandmaster Irina Krush wins second place. Talia Cervantes, Women Grandmaster, third place. Ryu Yang Yan, fourth place. Tatev Abrahamyan, fifth place. Okay, tied for fifth place with Alice Lee and Megan Lee. Then you have in eighth place Gulruk Begim Tokiryanova, then Anna Zatonsky, Rochelle Wu, Sophie Morris Suzuki, Nazi Pakice, Sabina Foysor, and Sarita Esfaran in last place. So yeah, there we have it. That's the game. Those were the standings. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Very, very nicely done. I mean, truly something you don't see every day. But yeah, take something from this. Even if you blunder a piece, regardless of how important the event, keep playing, play the best moves, and you might still win. That's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Ravishing Reptiles YouTube, Trevor Terris, Laximinarian, Chakrapani, Alan Psycho, and Listerpan for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.